excited to have one of the HVAC's industry's leading experts here tonight. This is a gentleman who really needs no introduction. Weldon Long, you're an expert in the industry, a consultant in the industry, a founding member of the EGIA, a New York Times best-selling author, and still considered one of the industry's experts on biz dev and training. So we're just honored to have you here today. And I think what's really important to all the guests here tonight, all the HVAC industry folks, is that you've also always owned your own HVAC company. So
Absolutely.
You're speaking from a position for strength. So again, we're honored to have you here tonight. Want to ask you a couple questions. So why do you think this makes so much sense for the HVAC? Why does solar and the HVAC industry make so much sense?
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Bobby, first of all, for having me. I appreciate this opportunity to talk about your organization and how your organization is helping my industry. I appreciate that very much. So a tip of the cap. It's a no-brainer, Bobby. I mean, we're in the house every single day. We're sitting at kitchen tables with mom and pop homeowner. And guess what we're talking about? We're talking about converting to electric, heat, and of course, air conditioning. We're talking about energy savings. We're talking about energy efficiency. You can't have that conversation and not have the conversation with solar. And it's not just because solar obviously is producing the electricity to run the electric systems in the home. The government, as we all know, with the new Inflation Reduction Act, is pouring gazillions of dollars into supporting this technology. When you're having a conversation with a homeowner about converting to electric and the government is promoting the solar technology, you can't really have one conversation without the other. It's a perfect fit.
Yep. So you're on the Mount Rushmore of the HVAC industry, right? I'm winging some of this, but it seems appropriate.
I appreciate it.
Some might say, well, why you? You've earned so much money in the industry. You're such a high-paid consultant. Why you? Why do you want to be in the solar industry?
Well, and I think something that's really important for me is I'm not just a guy that's an expert in the industry. I'm in the industry. I'm in the trenches. I've had a half a dozen of my own heating and air conditioning companies. I own one now in Colorado. And we're always looking for ways, obviously, to increase our revenue. We're looking for new, revenue centers. We're looking for, we're selling indoor air quality. We're selling ductwork and selling all these other different products because we're trying to drive our revenue. So it was a natural fit for me over the last few years that we began to look for the ability to get into the solar business, because it's just like if I'm going to sell an indoor air quality product, that's a natural fit with the HVAC. Again, the solar is a natural fit. So I began to look for ways to do that, right? I want to drive my revenue. I want to leverage my relationships. So many HVAC companies, as an example, also do plumbing. Well, we always leverage those relationships. When you're in the house talking about HVAC, say, hey, here's some information on our plumbing. So we're looking to add other departments, other revenue streams to our business. Solar is the perfect fit. So I began the journey a couple of years ago, trying to figure out what it would take to get into the solar business. And the one thing I found is there's some pretty significant barriers to entry, because you got to spend a lot of money on systems and infrastructure to be able to do that, which I know we're going to talk about that more and how your company fits into that groove. But no matter what it takes, we decided a couple of years ago, we're getting into solar. And if we got to buy a bunch of equipment and train a bunch of people and learn a whole new technology, well, that's what we're going to do, because we're not going to miss the boat on this solar, movement, on being the leading edge of this whole trend.
Yeah. And we know with your reputation in the industry, that your reputation is as important, obviously, as anything. Yeah. Why Powur? I know you did some due diligence, you did some homework. Yep. What made, there's thousands of solar companies out there. There's a lot of ways to go, like you talked about. You don't want to invest and start your own. We get that. But why did you choose Powur? Why there?
Well, initially it was Powur, because Powur said, hey, we'll do all the heavy lifting for you. We do the installations, we do the service. Right. We take care of everything. So that was actually, obviously the first thing was kind of like, hey, you mean I can get into the solar business and I can leverage your company and your resources and your expertise and your infrastructure, and I don't have to train people and learn to do solar. I could just go in there and talk to the homeowners about solar and then let you guys do the heavy lifting, and I get paid for that. We'll talk more about that later. But I'll be honest with you, a big part of the reason is Melissa Dawson. She's just a sweetheart. She's driven. She's focused. She's motivated. She is 100% badass. And I met her about 8 months ago, a year ago or so, in Denver for breakfast with some other mutual business interests and business friends. And like her intensity and her passion for the industry and her passion for Powur, I'm like, dang, there must be something going on here. And then as I got to meet you and the others in your company and kind of see how the process flow works, the commitment to excellence that you guys have, the commitment to treating people properly, the commitment to being a partner for that homeowner and not just a transaction. As I begin to meet the people in your organization, I'm like, okay, this is a company that I can trust my reputation to. I'll tell you, in this industry, there's nothing more important than Google ratings. In my company, we have hundreds upon hundreds of Google ratings, and we have a 4.8. Right? We train that. We inculcate in our people. We talk about every day. You got to do the right thing. You got to get the great reviews. Well, guess what? You guys are as concerned about that stuff as we are. That was a big deal for me. The fact that you guys are taking care of business, you got your ducks in a row, and you got a rock star running the HVAC division. And we're just excited to be partners with you guys.
Yeah, it's a big part. All the people tuning in here today, they were brought here by someone, and the integrity of that person and their reputation and their passion for what we're doing is a big part of this. So I know we talked a little bit about money. There's some money being made in HVAC, and there's a certain temperature normally outside when you're doing HVAC. Maybe you could talk a little bit about, sweat. We almost talk about sweat equity, about, what it takes here and the money that you can earn here and what those look like.
Hey, well, no disrespect to you or Melissa, but the money's the best part. I mean, you guys are awesome, but I'm trying to make a living out here, right? I'm out there with my nose to the grindstone because I'm trying to accomplish some things with respect to my financial security. Listen, when you look at the average HVAC installation, if you're doing a full system, the average ticket across the country is about $12,000, right? The target gross profit on that is 50%. And I will tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, 20 years training HVAC companies, and not very many of them have a pure 50% gross margin if they really count all of their cost of goods, right? So if you look at a true 50% gross margin, that's $6,000 in gross profit, operating income to run your business. When we started looking at solar, one of the most attractive things is not just, how it fits into the conversation, but the average ticket is so much higher on that. So that's what got me interested. Like, wow, we can really drive our average revenue, our average ticket. Well, when I saw the compensation plan under Powur Solar, it's like, you mean I can get this $6,000 or thereabouts in gross profit without having to do anything except refer the lead. So the way it works is our sales guys, our comfort advisors, they go down, they're at the kitchen table with mom and pop homeowner, they're selling an HVAC system, and then the part of the conversation is, oh, by the way, have you ever thought about solar? Well, guess what? Everybody's thinking about solar. Did you understand the government's incentivizing through tax credits and other mechanisms to incentivize this? When we refer that opportunity, that lead to Powur, Powur comes in and runs the lead, handles all the installation, handles all the service, all the warranty, all the everything. And my company makes anywhere from around $3,000 to $5,000 in pure gross profit based on that transaction. That's all we have to do is refer to you guys. We do nothing. We don't have to handle the financing. We don't have to handle the paperwork. We don't do anything except, hey, Mr. Homeowner, you guys just spent $12,000 on a new electric HVAC, heating and air conditioning system. Have you ever thought about solar so you can power it for free or damn near free? Right? Oh, that's a great idea. Well, let me put you in touch with these people. Then we do the referral. Again, $3,000 to $5,000 upon installation completion, of course, right? If you guys sell it, then we get that. And the best part is, and a lot of the guys in this industry are just like me, we have sales advisors, comfort advisors that are really, really good sales professionals. We have the opportunity. We haven't done this yet in my company, but we have the opportunity with your organization that I can train my guys to sell the solar if I want to. And if we actually sell the solar, we can double our revenue. Instead of $3,000 to $5,000 at $6,000 to $10,000, I can pay my salesperson a couple of $1,000s commission. That's great for them on top of their HVAC system commission. And the company's got thousands of dollars left over that goes straight towards the bottom line. And there's no brain damage. Operationally, we don't have to deal with it. Warranty work, not our problem. Service, call these guys. We don't have to mess with it. So it is like the ultimate opportunity. I will tell you, it's very similar to my speaking business. A lot of the folks watching this know me from my speaking consulting. I work with organizations like EGIA, the Electric Gas Industries Association. It's an 85-year-old nonprofit. And I work with them. Why? Because they got a great reputation. They do the right thing. I produce content. They handle all the brain damage. That's what we're doing with Powur. We're producing the opportunity. You guys handle the brain damage. And guess what? You're generous and kind enough to compensate us for that. I mean, what's not to love?
You got it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't every HVAC company have a list that they could blind copy an email or send their newsletter out and ask all their current clients who already have their trust if they want a free energy evaluation for their
Absolutely.
home solar?
It's funny we had that conversation. I just had a meeting at my company today. This HVAC company I own right now, it's only 3 years old. We're going to do close to $10 million in our third year. We have about 10,000 customers in our database. Well, guess who we're targeting? Have you thought about solar? Again, Everybody's thinking about solar. Why? Because the government is going to spend a lot of money incentivizing the technology over the course of the next 10 years. And I want to say something to all the HVAC industry guys, because I'm an HVAC industry guy, first and foremost. I understand that a lot of you, I have these conversations every day. I just did a 2-day seminar the last 2 days, and guys are like, well, we don't think this is Inflation Reduction Act is really going to, reduce inflation. That's not my lane, right? That's the politician lane. That's beyond my control. The reality is, whatever you think about it politically, they are incentivized cleaner, more efficient energy. And we have a responsibility, in fact, a duty to our industry to help share the information on cleaner, more efficient electricity, more efficient energy, cleaner energy. I don't care who you are. Are you concerned about reducing the carbon footprint for your kids and grandkids? Of course you are. I don't care what you think about global warming. I don't care what you think about the politics of it. Everybody knows we got to do a better job of protecting the environment. If I don't share this information with my homeowner about cleaner, more efficient energy, I'm doing them a disservice. We got to get on board with this, right? And this is our opportunity.
And isn't the conversation pretty similar? More efficient energy. We're adding a 30-year industry changing warranty onto it. They're raising the value of their home. I mean, isn't it, how similar is the combo?
It's like totally symbiotic, if I can use a 1970s kind of a hit kind of phrase, right? You can't have one conversation without the other. I'll tell you, Bobby, one of the funniest things about this is that in my industry, and I've trained thousands of sales professionals, and it's very common, especially in areas of the country where solar is already very popular, right? Maybe Arizona, maybe California. And we're walking to the house, and one of the things that we're going to sell the homeowner on is to convert to electric heat, because it saves a ton of money, right? On an electric heat pump, on natural gas, for example, even the most efficient natural gas furnace, if I put $1 worth of natural gas, the most efficient natural gas furnace will produce 96 cents of heat, and 4 cents goes out the flue. With an electric heat pump, we can put $1 worth of electricity for heat and produce over $2 of heat. It's way more efficient, right? But when we go into a home and we see solar panels, it's like, dang, we can't even use our energy efficiency because they don't care how much it costs to, on electricity because they got solar. Well, guess what? Now we care very much because we want to be the ones selling the solar. So we're going to be part of that conversation. We don't look at it anymore as the enemy, like, dang, I can't sell efficiency because they have solar. They don't care how much electricity costs. Well, guess what? Now we can be part of that conversation. We can benefit financially and environmentally and industry-wise with that conversation by being a part of it.
And we didn't discuss this, but it just came into my head. Something tells me that the HVAC industry in most markets in the United States, or many of them, slows up a little bit when the temperatures go down with it. I would assume that the fall and the winter can get a little.
Oh my gosh, slow. You just put a stake through my heart, didn't you, Bobby? You had to bring that up. We have the shoulder season. I'm in Colorado. It's a little different depending where you are in the country. But the reality is you're going to have 5, 6, maybe 7, really great months, either really cold or really hot weather. And then you're going to have the shoulder season, right? I'm in Colorado today at 75 degrees and sunshine. Nobody's calling about heating. Nobody's calling about cooling. The beautiful thing about the solar technology is it doesn't have a slow season. It doesn't have a shoulder season. It doesn't depend on the weather in terms of its attractiveness. Obviously, the weather will impact the day-to-day efficiency of it, how much energy it produces based on the weather. But the weather doesn't dictate the slow seasons and the fast seasons, to the industry, because people are buying this stuff year round. For those of you in our industry, in the HVAC industry doing plumbing, it's kind of like the plumbing thing. Plumbing doesn't have a season, right? Things happen when they happen. Solar is the same way. So what it does, it helps us even out those shoulder seasons, provides an additional revenue stream, zero brain damage. It's like what I call a duh question. Should I do it? Well, duh, there's only one answer, right? And it's just a natural fit. It soothes out the peaks and the valley seasons. We don't have the brain damage. We get revenue. It's great for our homeowners. It's great for the environment. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Well, it's obvious why you're one of the most respected and highest paid, trainers and biz dev guys in the industry. In closing, in short, what would you say to the industry? What would you say to the people, the HVAC specialists trying to make a decision whether they want to get into solar or not?
I would say get in where you fit in, man, because opportunities come along every so often. I will tell you, I've earned millions of dollars in the residential heating and air conditioning industry. And I work hard, I stay focused, but I'm going to tell you something. A huge component of my success, and every successful person I talk to, Bobby, Melissa, I guarantee you'll back me up on this, timing and opportunity. being in the right place at the right time. I've had so many things happen in my career that I just happened to be the right place at the right time. Yes, I worked hard. And yes, my luck is a combination of my preparation and my dedication. And so I get lucky. But timing and opportunity have so much a part of everything successful in business. This is the time. This is the opportunity. I'm telling you, the stars have aligned, the heavens apart, of the harps of angels are coming down. It's like there's a sign, right? Like, let's get this done. You got to do it with somebody or you're going to get left in the dust. You might as well do it with the best organization in the country, and that's you guys, Powur Solar.
Well, having you being a part of Powur and the opportunity for us to work with you and the opportunity to just work together and build a cleaner world for our children and for their children and provide economic addition, if not relief, to the HVAC industry in those months, in those lean years, and whatever economy we're now heading into. We're just honored that you took a few minutes to spend some time with us, and we thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much, Bobby and Melissa. Thanks, guys.
My pleasure. All right, well, we're going to turn this back over to Charles. I want to send this back to you all. And again, we thank everybody for your time. Thank you, sir.